Welcome back to the online class of AIS. As you all know that I am Shormishta Das, your maths teacher. You know that we have already started chapter 2, that is polynomial. So today we are going to start with exercise 2C. So let's get started. Exercise 2C, polynomial. First, before describing you with remainder theorem, before explaining you with remainder theorem, first let me discuss few things. Like let px and gx be two polynomials such that degree of px should be greater than equals to degree of gx. As you all know that px and gx are polynomial, that means the power of x or any other variable that is present is non-negative. That is why px and gx are two polynomial, and degree of px should be greater than equals to degree of gx. On dividing px by gx, what we will get? We will be getting one quotient and one remainder. So quotient we are representing it by qx and remainder by rx. As you all know that dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So over here dividend is px, divisor is gx, and quotient qx and rx is your remainder. So we can write down this one, that px equals to gx dot qx plus rx. Now let us come to remainder theorem. Let px be a polynomial of degree 1 or more than that, and let alpha be any real number. If px is divided by x minus alpha, then the remainder is p alpha. This is the statement of remainder theorem. That means there should be a polynomial px with degree 1 or more than that. Let alpha be any real number. If px can be divided by x minus alpha, then the remainder will be p alpha. So if we will solve some of the sums, we will be able to understand the application of remainder theorem. So let's start with the sums. We are going to solve sum number 4. The question is, using the remainder theorem, find the remainder when px is divided by gx. Now see, px is a polynomial because x is having non-negative integers as power, and px is getting divided by gx. So before we start applying the remainder theorem, what we have to do, we need to find out the value of x, because we need to find out that alpha, where alpha is any real number, and then that alpha will be x will be substituted by that alpha. So first step will be gx equals to 0 implies x minus 3 equals to 0, which implies x equals to 3. Now by remainder theorem, when px is divided by x minus 3, the remainder is p3. This is the statement of remainder theorem. So I need to find out p3. That means this x will be substituted by 3. So p3 equals to 2 into 3 whole cube minus 7 into 3 square plus 9 into 3 minus 13. P3 equals to 3 cube means 27. 27 into 2 gives you 54 minus 3 3s are 9, 9 into 7 63 plus 27, 9 into 3 27 minus 13. So P3 equals to 54 and 27 will give you 81 minus 3 minus we will be doing plus and the sign will be minus, so 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 1 7. So P3 equals to 5. So this is your remainder, because by using remainder theorem our main aim is to find out the remainder. So this is the remainder, that is 5. Now let's start with sum number 12. Sum number 12 is also by using the remainder theorem. We have to find out the remainder when Px is getting divided by Gx. So once again we can check that Px is also a polynomial because the power of x is non-negative integer. So very first thing what we have to do, that is Gx equals to 0, so that we can find out the value of x. So x minus a equals to 0 implies x equals to a. So again we can write down the statement by remainder theorem. When Px is divided by x minus a, the remainder is Pa. That means over here the x will be substituted by a. So Pa is equal to a cube minus a into a square plus 6 into a minus a. So Pa equals to a cube minus a cube plus 6a minus a. So a cube minus a cube cancel out because opposite sign will cancel each other. Now Pa equals to 5a. So this is the remainder and this is your answer. Now we are going to solve sum number. The polynomial Px equals to x to the power 4 minus 2x cube plus 3x square minus ax plus b when divided by x minus 1 and x plus 1 leaves the remainders 5 and 19 respectively. Find the values of a and b, hence find the remainder when Px is divided by x minus 2. That means when Px is getting divided by x minus 1, we are getting the remainder 5. When Px is divided by x plus 1, we are getting the remainder 19. By that means we will be getting two equations. By those two equations we need to find out the value of a and b. Okay, so let's start with the sum. X minus 1 equals to 0 implies x equals to 1. Let us consider this as Gx. Okay, implies x equals to 1. So we can write down the statement by remainder theorem. When Px is divided by x minus 1, the remainder is 5 as per as the question. So Px will be change to P1 because x will be substituted with 1. So let me turn the page. So this is your P1, 1 to the power 4 minus 2 into 1 cube plus 3 into 1 square minus a into 1 plus b. So this gives you 1 minus 2 plus 3 minus a plus b implies P1 equals to this. So P1 equals to 3 plus 1 4, 4 minus 2 that is 2 minus a plus b. Now according to the sum, P1 equals to 5. So P1 is what? 2 minus a plus b equals to 5. That is b minus a equals to 2 will be coming this side. 5 minus 2 implies b minus a equals to 3. I am naming this as equation number 1. Okay. Similarly, I will now find out x plus 1 equals to 0 implies x equals to minus 1. So again I have to write down the statement by remainder theorem. When px is divided by x plus 1, the remainder is p minus 1. That means now the x will be substituted by minus 1. So p minus 1 equals to minus 1 whole to the power 4 minus 2 into minus 1 whole cube plus 3 into minus 1 whole square minus a into minus 1 plus b. Since minus 1 is having even power, so I will be getting positive number back, positive sign I will get, that is 1. Over here it is having odd power, that means I will be getting minus sign. So minus minus again plus. 2 into 1 1, 2 into 1 2. Over here again even power, that means again I will be getting plus sign back. So plus into plus plus. 3 into 1 3. Minus minus plus, that is a plus b. So p minus 1 is equal to a plus b. Now according to the sum, p minus 1 equals to 19. Therefore 6 plus a plus b equals to 19 implies a plus b equals to 19 minus 6 implies a plus b equals to 13. I am naming this one as equation 2. Now we are going to solve equation 1 and 2. We will simply add this up. So adding equation 1 and 2, we get, first I am writing equation 1, b minus a equals to 3, and over here I have got b plus a equals to 13. Plus minus cancel out, b plus b, that is 2b equals to 13 plus 3, 16. So b equals to 16 by 2 implies b equals to 8. Now I can put the value of b in any one of the equation. Then I am writing, putting the value of b in equation 1. 8 minus a equals to 3 implies minus a equals to 3 minus 8 equals to minus 5. So a equals to 5. So a equals to 5 and b equals to 8. This is your answer. This sum number 14 is having one more part, that is, hence find the number when px is hence find the remainder, when px is divided by x minus 2. Now I have to find out the remainder when px will be divided by x minus 2. So let's start with the part 2. So again we will start with x minus 2 equals to 0 implies x equals to 2. By remainder theorem, when px is divided by x minus 2, remainder is P2. That means now x will be substituted by 2. Px we have got, this is given in the question, and previously I have solved a and b and I have got a equals to 5 and b equals to 8. So Px equals to x to the power 4 minus 2x cube plus 3x square minus 5x plus 8. Now P2 equals to 2 to the power 4 minus 2 into 2 cube plus 3 into 2 square minus 5 into 2 plus 8. So P2 equals to 2 to the power 4, that means 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16, minus again 16 plus 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12, minus 10 plus 8 plus 16 minus 16 cancel out. So P2 equals to 12 plus 8 gives you 20, 20 minus 10, that is 10. So remainder is 10. So here we come to the end of exercise 2C. Hope you understood. Thank you, students.